My cabbages!
Low, man.
My cabbages! Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
You are coping the ceiling. You just can't believe what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping the ceiling. The truth it is all day, and now you are molding. You're coping so hard. Coping your ceiling.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy Andrew Esquire. In this legal mindset, we teach you to be your own judge. Just some light delay, some light scuff today, but hope you're all doing well and ready for another piece of the Ramsay Khalid Ismail saga. And hope you guys are having a good one. It's been kind of crazy for me over here on this side with a lot of work here, a lot of real life stuff, a lot of other stuff going on. But it's good to see everybody here in the chat. Good morning, good evening, however you are out there, wherever you are in the world. We have a big one today because Ramsay Khalid Ismail has been spurging out across social media, and he's also potentially dug himself into new crimes here today, which we're going to talk about, and also dug himself deeper in the existing pending criminal investigations in which he is facing. So we're going to talk about a lot today. We're going to talk about a lot today and really get into it here today. But thank you, everybody, for being here. I do appreciate all of you. And also, I want to say how based the memberships are already. Tank Rat dropping 50 Legal Mindset memberships, another 50 from Tank Rat, and then 50 from Cat Weasel Gaming. So between Tank Rat with 100 memberships, Cat Weasel with another 50, then Fitty Tucker with another 50, bringing us to 102, and Warranty Void with another 50, bringing us to 250. Doug Diaz with 5. Thank you so much. Cretocious with 10. Neko Girl 862, Octera as a new member here as well. And let's see, Mr. Man as a new member. With all those memberships, we're already pushing 300 members just starting the stream. How based is that? Thank you so much, everybody, for those kind gifts. Also, JP Ravenfire dropping 5 here today. It has been absolutely amazing. I have to think, what clip can I play for that? That's so good. That is so good. Let's play one. There's a couple we can play here. There's one I haven't played in a while, and this is let's see. Oh gosh. Let's see. This is a good one. This is a good one. No, sorry, that's the wrong one. We got here we go.
Nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Hold on.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Oh.
Thank you so much, guys. I just think that, for most of Ramsay's trash talking today, he completely makes stuff up. He completely invents stuff, and he completely lies, right? So I like that. I like that Senator quote there. A little Metal Gear for you. And then, of course, he is really mad. There's absolute maximum
emotional cabbage.
All of that today. Thank you for that support. One thing we're going to get into today is that Ramsay is desperate for money, and he is trying anything, and I do mean genuinely anything, in order to get time and attention and money. And we're going to get into his quest to try to monetize, because that is a massive flaw for him. Like, he's had a lot of problems with monetization, and that's not going well for him. We're just going to say that his quest with monetization is going very, very poorly, and we're going to see that. We're going to see that today. But thank you, everybody, for being here today. Thank you for being so generous. Let me get some of these other comments as well, just to start the show. We've got a long one today. Edward Benthal says, you seem to be approaching the lateness of RK to his own trial. Did you condemn, condone, Gundam, or condom this action or inaction? Or did you finally plead insanity? I am pleading insanity to all of that. Thank you so much.
Emotional damage.
Thank you, guys. Kerbal, who's helping the goal. We have a goal of never allowing Ramsay to delete the VODs, because we're going to talk about that today. Donation for your 3-day camping. Wrong stream. Hank and Johnny are like herpes, the gift that keeps giving, but nobody wants. Thank you for that. Ray Obiel says, at this rate, I'm speculating that RK and Hank are going to end up like Luca and Raziel. Well, actually, so funny you mentioned that. I just posted this, and the RKI X Hank lore goes it just digs itself deeper, in addition to last night, and we're going to talk about these crazy streams, in addition to last night where Hank made an admission of what he was doing with Johnny. He had a lot of moments that were caught on candid camera, and you can kind of see those here. You've got Hank grabbing Johnny by the butt and carrying him, and just full of smiles there, having a great time with that. And then of course you've got the Korean gunt, over there. Both of these guys rocking amazing bods here in in Seoul, South Korea. This stuff writes itself with Hank and Ramsay. I don't even need to add much humor to it at all whatsoever. So anyways, it's been a fun time. Tank Rat dropping another 50 legal mindset memberships. Thank you so much. And Mr. Man dropping 20. And then we've got King Lugia with 5. Once again, Tank Rat today, one of my OGs, coming up big to bring us up here. I think we're pushing like 350 right now. So thank you so much for that, Tank Rat. Appreciate that. Oh man, it's so great. And you know what they're doing right now?
You are coping the ceiling.
I also love that people will play that song just to troll Ramsay, which is absolutely chef's kiss. Great. Rigo says, F your insanity plea. You won't let us talk about that plea, so you don't get to use it either. Is that the childish logic of, if I can't do it, you can't either? Well, that's actually some Ramsay logic there. You sure you're doing all right? Because Ramsay says the exact same thing. Tomia for 420 euros. Is that a 420 reference? How would you feel if RK unalived himself? Grüße. Well, hope you're doing well in there. Guten Tag, whether you're in die Schweiz, Österreich, or Deutschland. I don't support any form of violence, and I don't encourage anybody to do anything to themselves or others, right? However, people in these situations that are under a lot of stress, things happen, right? So, but I don't encourage or condone that. Fenris Arun for 10 legal mindset memberships. Thank you so much, Fenris. And also Rigo dropping 20 and Jared dropping another 5. Do we hit 400 yet? I think we're almost there. I think we're at 69. Ooh, okay. We're almost there. 31 away from 400 already. And we haven't even gotten into the content yet. We're not even 10 minutes in, and we have more memberships than Johnny gets views on X. And we're going to talk about that because he's trying to monetize on YouTube. He's trying to monetize on X. He's trying to monetize on any platform he can do. We already know he didn't get paid from parties, so he's really, really, really desperate, which is hilarious. Also, Bronwyn says, seeing Hank digging through his own ass was not my bingo card. Thanks for that. Not really.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
That's the perfect one for that. That's the perfect response for that. I'll get a couple of these and we're going to go. Tank Rat says, will the video editing make it in time, or will there be another delay game? So today, what happened was we have a lot of Johnny's video. We have all of it. There's too much to cover all of it today. My editor was working, my assistant on the Somali conviction team here, my partner in crime here. He was working overtime to do censorship and to cover certain things in the stream because, as you know, there's a lot of foul language that goes on in his chat. There's a lot of stuff on screen that they show we have to censor. So there's a lot of work to be done with those videos. We can't just show the raw video of the stream. I can't just pop open a Johnny Somali stream, Ramsay Khalid Ismail stream, and play it because that would violate their terms of service. In fact, one of the big issues is repeatedly throughout the night, he was violating YouTube's terms of service, not just in invading their ban, but other things as well. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do a part 2 probably tomorrow. So there's going to be more video coming out of this once it's properly dealt with, but we've got to do it right. And unlike Ramsay, I take my time because I got all the time in the world. Antoinette Kilpatrick says, take your time. I will. Jen Ripper says, keep up the good work. I ain't stopping. Brown Bat for 10 says, greetings from Canada. I love your content. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well up there, staying warm and having a great time up there in the frozen north. Warren for 10 Canadian, thank you. And Luxrion says, for the goal and just to piss off RKI and for Vitaly's meal rations. So funny enough, you mentioned that. There is a linking of Free Vitaly and Johnny Somali. We will cover that tonight. So Johnny Somali is officially trying to go down this Free Vitaly route. And he's doing it in possibly the most disturbing way. So we will get into that tonight. And I will get just a couple more of these. Razor Wire for 10 says, for Johnny's vasectomy. Fitty Tucker, thanks for the memberships, says, oh my God, while waiting for your stream, realized RK and Hank are the real life version of Ren and Stimpy. Don't talk bad about Ren and Stimpy like that. Rigo says, doing great, still waking up and haven't had a caffeine yet. And is this an eye bleach stream? You will need some eye bleach today. You will need Cat Weasel. Also, I'm seeing another 50 Legal Mindset memberships. Oh boy.
Emotional damage.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Danny Skier said he challenged you to debate Destroy Him. I've already addressed this. There is nothing to gain by debating Johnny Somali. So Johnny Somali wants free attention and clout, and all these people do, all these nuisance streamers do. He's not unique to that. And what they thrive on is just confronting each other and yelling and screaming and doing all this other crazy stuff. The thing he needs to confront is the law. And the thing that he needs to confront is the courtroom. And what I focus on is the law, the facts, and the courtroom. And ultimately, this will be borne out in the courtroom, and he will get to see those consequences in court, right? My content, the things I make in this channel, are not yelling and screaming like a bunch of 12-year-olds, right? That's the nuisance streamer content. And also, that's why their streams are dead boring when they're not doing that. And even their own server, even though Discord server was dead, they weren't saying anything during this. They're horrible at this desktop streaming format because they don't know how to do stuff when they're not running around being annoying. So once again, I play my game, and I'm going to continue to do it how I do it and how I've always done it on this channel. So yeah, that it will never happen. The only person that would benefit was Johnny, and I ain't helping him out in any way. In fact, today you're going to see a lot of the social media where I've actually censored out his information so he doesn't get any free clicks or other stuff as well. Once again, I can play this my way, and it only hurts Johnny, which is all I'm in here for. The Cabbage Man cometh, says Solon the Lich. Also for 10, Tank Imperator says, Johnny Somali continues to surprise me with how much of a main character syndrome a 5-foot manlet can contain. Regardless, the latest VOD, the only thing I have to say is Luke 17:2, happy Easter. Thank you so much. And by the way, happy Easter to all of you guys out there. Hope you had a lovely Easter as well as the Holy Week last week, that you had some time to enjoy it with family, friends, or, just take a break and enjoy the time, even if you're not Christian. I hope you just enjoyed and had a beautiful weekend. I hope it was very peaceful for you and your family. And Luis Galeando, as a new member, thank you. Also, one other thing I'm going to say as well. This is actually a kind of comment for those, not just for Ramsay, but for other people like Vitaly and other nuisance streamers. I know there is a tendency for people to go after their family. And I just want to make it, I've always been clear about this, but I want to say this again, because I did notice this. I absolutely oppose, I am against anybody dragging people's family into stuff, trying to bring them up or dox them or bring up information. That is despicable behavior. If I see you guys doing it or see somebody doing it in my chat, you will be banned. I think that the person that suffers the consequences is the person doing the action, right? So, somebody's uncle, somebody's brother, cousin, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, they don't deserve to be dragged into stuff online. So that's not their thing. It's really irrelevant to pretty much everything except for as it goes to nationality, because that can deal with legality and venue. We'll just bring that up. Neko Girl 862 says, can't wait to hear what Cabbage Boy did. Well, let's get right into it, shall we? So let's jump into it. As of course, always, I have a PowerPoint to kind of keep us on track here today. So let's jump into the Somali case update. Now, I'm going to first, and also welcome RW as a new member. Thank you. Thank you. All right. And I'll get to the rest of the super chats as we go and as we move along. So we have a case update today, obviously on 423, going through some of the things that have happened, and a lot of them are illegal. But we're going to talk about the media cycle because the media plays into our story tonight pretty intensely. The Korean media is on Johnny now. He has been featured, and we're going to show you, and I have a translation of a media broadcast that got 300K views on YouTube and was broadcast out over mainstream media in Korea. There's many channels covering Johnny Somali now. We have changed the way the Somali cycle works. So what I want to show you is the Somali cycle before coverage, and not just my coverage. Of course, I'm the person who's been primarily on this, but other people covering it, Atozi, and even other channels that take my information and synthesize it are doing a wonderful job of keeping the Somali cycle from going to what it was. So this is the former Somali cycle, and this is what Johnny Somali wants. He wants this. So what he wants is he wants for him to act out. So that's doing something crazy. So that would be in Japan saying Hiroshima, Nagasaki. That would be trespassing. That would be sexually harassing young women. That would be doing all sorts of crimes and other things where he would do it and it makes everybody angry. That's step 2. So he acts out, rage ensues. People are pissed. And in the past, he would go silent. He would go silent for a month, a week, 2 months, 3 months, and everything would go away. But what he's and what happens after that is after the heat dies down, after the rage goes away, and after people are no longer covering it, he escapes. He gets a slap on the wrist. He is sent home and nothing happens. But because he is staying in the cycle and we have changed the cycle, this was the cycle in Japan. Because if you remember in Japan, he got a very light sentence. He got a relative slap on the wrist. He got away with it. He feels he got away with it, and he's going to continue to do it. Here's how we are changing the cycle. This is what we have done. He's acting out. That's the same thing in Korea with the comfort woman statue. He was acting out. He went and committed crimes, child sexual harassment. He's done deep fakes. He's done obstruction of business. He's done all sorts of nasty things, many of which are illegal. And people were pissed. Here's the difference. We're covering it and it's going viral. That is the issue. That he is so, and that's why he is very focused on me. He's very focused on my coverage because he knows that he is not allowing that heat to die down. And what is happening instead is the pressure on him is increasing, including the pressure to prosecute. And I know you guys like the cabbage. Thank you. The cabbage is always a nice touch. Also, you know what's a nice touch? Smashing the like button. Hit that like button, guys. We got 6,000 people in here right now. Thank you for that very, very, very much. Also, thank you, Mindswap, for being a member as well. So this is how we're changing it, and this is why he is so mad, because now the media is on top of this, and they are paying attention, including the Korean media, and you better believe the judge, other folks, the prosecutors are aware of what's going on and circulating about this in the Korean media. So this is one of the reasons why he is so angry about what's going on right now. Let's see here. Okay. RW says, so Johnny has a family. Hard to imagine. I thought he crawled out from under a rock. He does indeed have a family. Everybody has a family, but once again, they don't deserve to be dragged in. I do understand the rock sentiment, though. Blind Man Travels said for 99 says, when are RKI and Hank going to start posting spicy cabbage content on Lonely Fools? I think it's not far off. They're getting pretty desperate. Shathak says, nothing makes the day better than Ramsay digging. I know. Tom Johnson says, today's episode of Cabbage Boy, the plot deepens. Agent Strawman says, all praise the Scuff, great equalizer of all streamers. Indeed. Normal Disturbs says, had a dream about cabbages last night. Thought of you. Thank you. I guess. Also, Jean-Claude, I want to say, says, can't give much. I didn't know RKI had family. Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Listen, everything helps, and I do appreciate your comments and all your support. Thank you, guys. I couldn't do it without all you guys watching and supporting. Josh also says, enjoy the cabbage fields, Ramsay. He's going to enjoy them. Sir Guard of the Nettle Soup says, I've got a feeling that Hank knows RKI is cooked and is planning to come to the UK based on his is search history. Actually, let's get into some video about Hank and Hank's family. Let's show you that first here. So this is interesting. Now, this is relevant. It doesn't dox them or give any information away. It's interesting as to why Hank is having money problems and why they're not wanting to support Johnny. So it doesn't dox anybody or give anything away, but Hank does talk about that relationship insofar as how they feel about it, and that is reflected in the money that is coming back to Hank because Hank is giving it to Johnny for legal defense. So let's listen to this for just 2 seconds because I think this is legally relevant without giving it any personal information.
So what has your family thought about you supporting me or helping me?
They thought it was insane and it was like despicable that I am actually standing up for what I believe in.
So they think it's insane and despicable. So they've cut Hanky Poo off from his money, and therefore he is at least some level of money that was going towards Johnny and Johnny's legal defense, and pretty much Hank bankrolling his legal defense. That cannot happen going forward. It looks like, as that's the perception. C-Chan for 20 Singapore says, hello, Andrew. I just went on a trip to Japan last week. I saw a heavier police presence to deter nuisance streamers. That's a good thing. I have a message for him. What gives you guys the right to go to Asia and commit crimes for content? Nothing. There's no right to go to any country at all. At all. You can be denied from a country for any reason unless you're a citizen. Super Christian Me World says, sup? Hey, Johnny, if you listen to the stream, and we know you do, a debate against LM, my money's on the one reading this super chat. Look, listen, I'm the only one that makes coherent professional arguments here that are based in the law. When you have a debate, you have to be arguing on the same bases. If you're just arguing, if you're just yelling and screaming, that's not a debate. That's just somebody yelling and screaming at you. Versus if you have a debate like a political debate, there's ground rules to that. Okay, here's what we're going to talk about. Right? It's not you have a debate on climate, let's say climate protocols or gas drilling in deep ocean areas. You're going to do underwater drilling and you're debating the pros and cons of that. You don't go into your mama's so fat, right? That's not how that goes. You have to stay, okay, we're going to be talking about deep water oil drilling or whatever, right? And stay within those parameters. So obviously with somebody who can't even stay within the parameters of his own stream of consciousness, there's not really anything to debate. Invisible Man for $9.99. Thank you very much. Nene Escobar says, I have a farm. I have a cabbage farm. Someone needs to make this song happen. That'd be a good one. That'd be a good one. Let's see here. Okay. Zero-san says, what did he do now? It feels like he never wants to leave Korea's legal system. Well, we'll get into that right away. So let's get into the explanation here. Also, L Eagle says, I saw one dislike. I see you, Cabbage Boy. Get wrecked. Yeah, Johnny and Hank are always dropping those few dislikes. All right, so what happened last night? We got this in the PowerPoint. So here's what happened. And this happened the last week. So over the last week, Johnny has been going crazy online. And we're going to start with his tweets that are insane. And those happened a few days ago to up to about a week ago. He made some insane tweets, really losing it, really crashing out. He is scared of IRL streaming because he is being confronted. As you see, he is being punched when he goes out. This clip is very recent.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
That's from a recent stream. So he doesn't want that to happen to him every single time he goes out. And he, therefore has been holding off on that. Also, he is pending some very serious charges in the criminal court, which is coming up the next court date, May 16th. So there's a serious concern about making those charges worse, things being added to that. So he's scared to do it. Beyond that, he's got no money. He is trying other platforms. He's trying X. He's trying YouTube. Yes, he's trying YouTube. The way he's trying YouTube, and he has openly admitted this. I don't have the clip today, but I will get it, where he openly admits to ban evasion. I've actually played it previously, but he said it again. He said it a second time. But he has said he is using Hank's name for the YouTube channel. He has also signed up for a Google AdSense account in Hank's name. So he's essentially using his partner to Banivade. That is Banivade. So he is the primary streamer. He's the primary content creator. It is going to be his channel from a functional level. He controls everything about it. It just is put in Hank's name. So Hank is just the agent and he is the principal. In any legal theory and any way you'd look at that, it's essentially Johnny's, right? So it's Johnny's put in somebody else's name. Therefore, he's evading that ban. Now, right now, he is not monetized on YouTube. He is. I'm not aware whether he's monetized on X. I don't think he is there either. So those are things that he hasn't hit. But he is talking about going there because he's not getting any money. He's not getting money from Party. He's not getting money for any platforms. So he is trying to go around and find another way to generate some revenue. Now. The Korean media has been destroying him. We have a translated interview, but there have been several mainstream. We're talking like if ABC or CNN or Fox or whatever in the US did a piece on Somali. This is big stuff. These are not small channels in Korea. These are big channels, mainstream media. They have been destroying him. They've been covering him, and they've been covering us. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they have been watching our channel and covering us as we get this information out there. And it has been absolutely glorious to see them getting good information from a good source. So that's great news. And by the way, thank you to all those out there and the members and everybody who supports, because it's only with you guys supporting me that I can do this regular coverage. So thank you so much on that. The network TV gets the notice of this. And we're going to show you some of that in a second. I'm sorry about that, guys. After Songkran, the water festival, I got a bit of a cough because I was kind of cold from all the water. Jordan Joestar as a new member. Thank you. Welcome. Also, thank you for the 1 gift membership. Let's see here. C-Chan also says, I'm so angry with these Nuisance streamers. When was the last time you saw a Japanese tourist in the U.S. mock the war dead and live stream it? When was the last time I saw a Korean mocking 9/11? I haven't ever seen that. People visiting the U.S. generally are very friendly and awesome. Ed Scishands for 10 says, fellow American living in Thailand. Hey, shout out to the Swati Cup. So thankful for your coverage and that we don't have Nuisance streamers here. I mean, there are people that will mess around and do stupid things. I was in Phuket enjoying a nice weekend. And I saw people fighting and stuff like that. And of course, that happens everywhere. That happens in America. That happens literally everywhere. Someone gets drunk and they get in a fight. Every country, right? But by and large, I don't see a lot of Nuisance streamers. I will say I didn't see a single like live streamer like in the last week or so. And I've been out a lot. The only time I see them sometimes is in the very heavy tourist areas. And it's usually like a foreign streamer who's doing just a walking stream or something normal. And that's fine. If you're just doing a normal stream and you're not bothering anybody, it's fine. But the issue is when they come to cause problems. It says, honestly, I think the wonderful Thai people would take care of them immediately. Yeah, well, Gino actually, Ramsay's buddy, had to run away from here for causing some issues. So I think they know. And also the King Papa of Nuisance streamers, IP, Ice Poseidon, he's banned from the country. So, I mean, that does help when the Pied Piper can't bring all the Nuisance streamer kids to the block anymore because he is banned. So that's a good thing. I think it's a great thing, actually. Let's see. Hank did spend time in Texas prison, RKI's wife. I don't know whether he actually did jail time in Texas. I have to look into that. Brown and Not says, I understand the strategy law enforcement is going to use regarding Johnny, but isn't it getting old letting him roam free? No. So the Korean media, let me show you guys this. We're going to go to the Korean media stuff first. I want to show you this real quick. They understand the Korean strategy. The Korean strategy is to bleed him dry, to take his money and just make sure that he does not make a dime and that he is losing this money while he's there because he has to pay for everything and he's not getting any payments or he has any revenue. He can't stream, he can't work. So they understand that. And in this broadcast, this is a broadcast that was by SBS Media, which has 4.8 million subscribers. Let me pull this up here for you guys. This is a very big news outlet in Korea. You can see it right here with the two broadcasters. And I'm going to play a little bit of this. It's in Korean, and then I'm going to read you the translation of this. But just look at what source they're using here.
알렸는데요. 소말리가 지인과 주고받은 텔레그램 메시지를 공개했습니다. 해당 메시지에는 페이팔 기부 계정과 함께 후원 요청이 담겨 있습니다. 소말리의 지인은 변호사 비용이 부담스러워서 기부를 부탁한다고 밝혔는데요. 현재 출국 금지 상태인 소말리는 한국에서 일도 할 수 없다며 지인인 자신이 도와주지 않는다면 굶어 죽을 것이다라고 덧붙였습니다.
So they cover all this, and I'm not going to pull the whole thing, but I'll give you guys the little translation of that because we've got that here today. And that is over here. Let's pull this up and let's big screen it because it's in small font, but I got the whole thing. So here's how it read. And I'll read this out for you guys. This is a final update for today. So they left this for the last story of the day on major news. The latest status of an American YouTuber who repeatedly mocked and humiliated Korea, including kissing the Statue of Peace, has been reported. The YouTuber known as Somali has had their recent activities and trial proceedings exposed by another YouTuber who has been tracking their case. The reporting YouTuber, that's me, released private Telegram messages exchanged between Somali and an associate, Hank, which included PayPal donation links and a request for financial support. So why did the media focus on that? Because Korea understands the strategy is to bleed him dry financially, and it's working. It is absolutely 100% working. He is desperate. He has no money. He's resorting to outlandish things in order to get money. So their strategy is working. Now, I know a lot of people disagree with the Korean approach. A lot of people want to see the Vitali-like approach of the Philippines. But you can say, you're playing two different games. Some people are playing a long game. Some people are playing a short game. Korea is playing a long game the way they want to play the long game. They're playing their game their way, and it is working. Right? The Philippines did their thing with Vitali. That did work in their way. They're different strategies, right? They're different approaches to things. But they see it. The media sees it, which says, and continuing there, so he needed a PayPal donation link and request for financial support. In the messages, Somali's associate, Hank, claimed that legal fees were becoming unmanageable and pleaded for donations, adding that Somali, currently under a travel ban, cannot work in Korea and would starve to death without their help. Last October, Somali was indicted for disrupting operations at a convenience store in Mapo in Seoul by blasting loud music and spilling cup noodle water on tables. Somali also sparked outrage by kissing the Statue of Peace and repeatedly hurling racial slurs and sexual harassment at citizens. Note that word, sexual harassment. Actions that led to physical altercations with other YouTubers. That's all for the report. Thank you for listening. So mainstream media is on it. They're covering it. And this is really bad for Somali because this is the type of thing that the judge, his family, other people are seeing 100%. And that is not going to go well for him. In addition, Somali has openly threatened news channels. And let me pull this up right here. This is a huge mistake to come after news channels and say they are going to attack news channels. So let's listen into Hank and Johnny talking about essentially what sounds like trespassing and harassing reporters.
The JBC News building is not even open. Who's the news that was talking shit about it?
JTBC.
So you want to go? You down to go to the headquarters?
Yes, and
live
and like demand an interview.
That's a good content live.
Actually demand an interview.
Me and Hank go to the Korean news channel that has been talking the most shit about us, and we show up to their headquarters live and on YouTube, live on this channel and Hank's channel, and we tell these niggas we want to interview now, and we're not leaving till you call the police. Now. And then the next stream in Xi'an, I'm going.
Okay, let's stop with. Okay, he says something crazy after this. So let me address the first part, right? Okay, so they're going to call the police pretty quickly. Like, they're not going to wait to call the police. They're going to call the police pretty quickly when Somali shows up. They also have security, right? So, like, the main headquarters of a news building has security. He's not just going to be able to walk up to the reporter's desk and start yelling at them. They're going to have security. You probably won't even be able to get off the ground floor and get up to their main office. They'll probably be stuck on the ground floor and not be able to get anywhere. So they can try that. That will not work out well for them. Let's put it that way. That will not work out well for them. By the way, there are multiple outlets that are covering this now. So they're talking about one specific outlet, I believe JTC, but I just showed you another outlet that was covering this as well. So there are multiple. And then there was a third as well that covered it. And this is one that my good friend, Dr. Ulrich, you guys are very familiar with Dr. Ulrich. He came over and forwarded me a video from, let's see, which one was that? From MBM Network, which trolled him as well for not having any money. So there's now two networks, major networks, that have said that he is broke as a joke, and they're pretty much making fun of it. They're like laughing at his demise because it is absolutely hilarious that he thought he could screw around and would have no consequences, you know. David Miller, Eric Cartman energy. I want my cheesy poofs now. Well, if you looked at the gunt of Hank over here, which I know some of you missed, so you know, because I'm a man of the chat and a man of the people, and I would hate for any of you to miss out on Hank's gunt. We just got to feature this for a second here. Obviously, Hanky Poo has been eating a little bit too many cheesy poofs, if you know what I'm saying. And I think we all know what I'm saying here. One cheesy poof too many for Hanky Poo. So I think he needs to stick to cabbage. It's a healthier diet. It's a much healthier diet. Marzi Malfoy says, I do not condone people attacking Archive's family, but the way he reacted seemed very hypocritical. What goes through something's head like that? Listen, he says very unhinged things, but the right response and the professional adult response when somebody like is hyperbolic or attacks you or screams and yells is not to react immediately. That's what they want you to do. That's how these children, these nuisance streamers, which despite their age, a lot of them are in their 20s or 30s, they have the mental development of 12 and 13-year-olds. The proper thing is to take a beat and saying, why are they even doing this? Like, what is the point to them doing this? And when you think for even a millisecond, if you use a brain that is larger than a goldfish, you can figure out, oh, it's just to cultivate attention and clicks and drama and to draw people to their neighborhood and please their audience. But frankly, I'm not trying to please Johnny's audience. In fact, I'm trying to bore Johnny's audience. That's even better. That actually makes me much happier because his audience and the people that are his actual followers are some of the most vile people out there on the earth and on the internet. And as you're going to see today, they were sharing publicly on his YouTube channel some very, very vile, disgusting, pornographic material that actually caused them to have to delete the videos. And let me go back in my PowerPoint because this bears a note here today. Is that they actually streamed 3 times. So this is a very important fact. So a lot of the other channels that got clips from last night and a lot of the other accounts that follow Johnny Somali, other ones that are out there, you guys know all the other channels. I mean, Atozi follows it and there's other ones that follow Johnny Somali. They only got his last stream. So they only got the 3rd stream out of all 3. We got all 3. We have number 1, number 2, and number 3. And I'm going to show you today some of the reasons. In fact, I'll show you right now a video of why he had to delete I believe it was the 1st or 2nd VOD because he was showing pornographic material on YouTube, which, by the way, is a complete violation of their terms of service. So beyond the fact that he's doing ban evasion, he also showed pornography, right? And that was very clear. It was like open pornographic materials with not even trying to hide it. Let's see here. Where's that? Oh yeah, here we go. Delete the VOD. This is a good one. Okay. So let me load up this video here for you. Once again, this is something that I haven't seen anybody else have so far. So this is kind of exclusive to Legal Mindset. So here you go. Here is them on either the 1st or 2nd video where they had to delete it due to pornography. So right here, you see Hank and Johnny streaming together. You know, you got the bros right here. What is here is their Discord chat. What is blurred out is some very nasty, very, very graphic sexual stuff, including some super deviant stuff. So you'll even hear them here talking about this.
Like a news, like we know this, but like you want. Oh, what the hell is niggas posting up there? Yo, mods, clean up the clip chat, or I'm not even. I gotta verify the clips over here. Like, nigga, come on, mods. We gotta make a roll. Yo, some of them might make a roll to even post in the clip chat.
Okay. Nana, can you do me?
So, see, he knows what he did.
Someone need to make a roll to post in the clip chat.
He knows what he did.
Crazy, bro. Is it echoing, guys? Let me know if it's echoing, guys.
Right here, someone says delete the VOD.
Basically saying, before I go in there,
Delete the
I
VOD.
need to be motivated. I need motivation.
Redo the stream. So I need to end the stream because of that? Because that fucking shit popped up? Delete the VOD and start.
See, and the thing is, he knows what in his own Discord. He knows what he's showing, right? And he's having to repeatedly delete this stuff because he's got heavy pornographic material that's going on in his Discord, including some stuff that may even be illegal, hanging out in that Discord. So yeah, that's fun stuff. That's always stuff that, you know, Johnny just does because he's not careful. He doesn't think things through, and he just throws these things out there. And he made several of those mistakes last night, including showing some disturbing material involving children, which we're going to get to. We've got so much to get to tonight. It's kind of nuts, guys. It's kind of nuts. But one thing I want to get to is make sure to get out through all the chats. I obviously appreciate the support, and I try to get through these. Of course, I will have clips of all these different things out for you guys. But let me get to some of these chats. Rayobi says, shout out to Atozi and Mom and Trill. Hey, both two great creators, small and large. They also had to put in good work. They have. The attention puts pressure on the courts and eventually puts it into law, like deepfakes was added in September. Yes, and I hope the law is changed in many countries regarding this. Thomas Anderson said, Koreans like the judge in Liar Liar. It is out of sheer morbid curiosity that I am allowing this freak show to continue, and what a freak show it is. This is probably, ladies and gentlemen, and I've covered many criminal trials and many things all around the world. I have never seen anyone ever continue to commit crimes and dig themselves in deeper while criminal charges are pending. One difference between this and let's say the Vitali cases, we're probably not going to get any more charges for Vitali because he's behind bars. So, you know, what we have on the table is what we have on the table, versus Ramsay Khalid Ismail, who is given the opportunity to dig himself deeper, thus the thumbnail. And despite their best efforts, despite all of their chat and their Discord literally begging, right? I mean, this was from last night, and it was literally begging on his Discord. Someone tell Johnny, quickly delete the VOD. It's too late. His decision to stream and to continue to stream is giving more evidence, not just for the court of public opinion, not just for YouTube, not just for my channel, but for the courts themselves, because many of these things are related to the crimes which are pending before him. When Johnny is talking to minors under the age of consent from various places and countries, he's talking to young girls actively and with joy, and he's under investigation for child sexual harassment. Those things are very relevant for the court to know that he is doing these things. When he is making threats against people, these things are very relevant for the court to know. So these are all things that will come back, and there's no deleting of the VOD that's going to save him at all. Felix Wu says, Johnny Somali, we need you to make a rule. What a joke. What a joke. Forever Young is a new member. Thank you. Let's see here. Thumb Ugly says, F Deuces streamers, one day I'll see the Korean temple you showed in street food. Yeah, it's awesome. In Japan, Mount Fuji, Musashi's Cave, street food, and I'm fat. Yeah, that's all good. Hey, listen, I love the street food. I had some delicious street food this week. Some absolutely delicious street food. Some great khao soi, some other great curries, some great stuff. Some great like boiled pork. It was delicious. And some grilled octopus too. That was great. A lot of good food this weekend. I would be so much more fit if I didn't love food as much. So I cannot blame you at all. And Asia's got some great street food. Korea, Japan, Thailand, Philippines, a lot of great food. Craig Corbel says, please buy your editor some soju in therapy for the Ramsay Khalid Ismail PTSD. Yeah, thank you guys. And you can always go over and support on Ko-Fi if you want to toss some bucks over there. That helps out the whole team that's behind me. Juicebox Poppy 182 says, so what I'm guessing is Ramsay only hopes to stick his fingers in the judge's mouth. Thanks for covering. You're amazing. My pleasure. My pleasure. Big Buddha says, did the 10 memberships I gave not go through? I didn't see them. So I'm sorry. It didn't pop up yet. Rayobi said, oh no, it's Arkan Vitali sisters. They're going to be straw arming reason for the sake of whataboutism, just like Niji sisters. Yeah, it's the logic for free Vitali and free Somali is just mind-numbing. It's so stupid. And it's people that aren't arguing the law. They're arguing just like feelings or, oh, these people are my friends, which, okay, your friends don't get away with crimes. Pilot Girl says, love the Be Right Back clip. It's heartwarming. Really?
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
I like it too. Jean-Claude says for 5, I'm worried about his family. All the actions have reflected on them. It has to be already affecting them in the community. Nobody deserves that. Actually, I think the person who is really affecting is probably Hank's family because they're in Korea. Johnny's people are in the US, so but Hank's family is really probably getting more heat than Hank himself. And in fact, Hank, who is a loser with no job, he hasn't been in the army, he doesn't do anything, he's, living on mommy and, mommy's paycheck. He kind of doesn't feel the consequences, but the family does. You can lose business over this stuff, and people often do. Neko Girl says he's digging like he's trying to dig through the earth to escape Korea. He's not going to like it if he comes out on the other side. Donnie for 20 said these streamers legitimately act like kids pushing their parents' patience in a store, acting up, looking at people for their reactions, and crying when they get spanked, asking, what did I do? Knowing full well what they did. Absolutely. Donnie gave another 10. Thank you so much. And Renee Jasper also became a new member. Big Buddha says I gave them before the stream. Ooh, let me go back and check. They probably did go through. I do appreciate that. And thank you to all the gifters. If you received a gift membership today, please just say thank you. That's the least you can do for the gifters. And Big Buddhist, I see from the beginning I got them. They just didn't show up on my software. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. Cat Game says, since you think of Tozy and you get credit from media, we do. People mention him, people mention me, and they don't have to, but I appreciate it. It's not required. And I've always said you can clip my channel as much as you want, and you can use it as long as you're helping convict Ramsay Khalida Smile. Rand Recruit says those who pilfer meat from lions are either foolish or starving. Ramsay, certainly both. I agree. Cedra says, just like another Rams legal mindset of Tozy, dual citizen who loves seeing your collaboration content. Thanks for all the legwork. Hey, appreciate that. Let's see here. Johnny 718 Bravo says for 5. I hope RKI, Jack D, Vitaly, and SSS Sniper Wolf, and many more get the karma they richly deserve. There's a lot to cover. We'll put it that way. Margie said, can we get a shovel emoji next? I will look into that. That's a good one. Kid Loco says, hey, Andrew, how are you? I've been good. I've been taking a little break for Songkran, but I am back now. I am going to have to be doing a little bit of traveling around because my apartment is being worked on to repair earthquake damage. So I will be out of my apartment starting tomorrow for about 2 weeks. So that's going to be fun. But I'll still be streaming. Don't you guys worry. I always have a travel setup. All right. Let's get to some more of this content, shall we? We've got a lot of this stuff. So let's see. Where do we want to start? What do I have in the PowerPoint here? Let's start with the tweets. So there's some really unhinged tweets. Now, these tweets, mind you, these tweets were going off before he streamed. So all of this was happening before he did his YouTube streaming. I have censored both the information of Johnny because I don't want to give him any free clout. Once again, no free clout for Johnny and his accounts because we don't want to monetize Johnny. My intention is not to allow him to monetize, even by people giving him hate views. So I don't want to give Johnny a single view so he doesn't get any X monetization or YouTube monetization or anything, right? I am trying to make Johnny as poor as possible, just like Korea. I am following the Korean strategy with Johnny. So I've censored out his info, but this is indeed Johnny down here. You can see Johnny. You can see his little page right there. And I'm also censoring out the other people just because I'm not sure whether or not they want to be included in this. So I don't want to get them attached to it. So I'm protecting their identities of everybody involved. So let's just read this. And once again, these are Johnny's words. So this is his response here. There is no way to help you smooth things over with the Korean people. Oh, sorry. This is somebody trying to help Johnny. There is a way to help you smooth things over with the Korean people. Stop posting everything that is perceived as hurtful. If you can't say something nice, don't say it. Laugh if you want, but flying on the radar in enemy territory attracts attention. So this person is trying to help Johnny. They actually give some genuinely good advice. Like, this is actually good advice. Like, no joke. Like, you should take this seriously. You should stop being that offensive, right? Like, that is actually a good strategy. Now, what does he say to that? Who said, I want to smooth things over? They, and when he says they, he is speaking about the Korean people are cockroaches, right? Because this is a response to him saying smooth things over with the Korean people. So he literally calls the Korean people cockroaches publicly. He is at trial in Korea. Everybody involved in the process, the prosecution, the judge, the law enforcement, they are all Koreans, right? And oh, someone said impressive levels of racism. It gets way worse. Hold on. We're not even there yet. He doubles down. By the way, what I love here, see how little views he's getting? And this is all his like Discord and his second and third account. You know, he's got like 16 accounts on X. So he's like reviewing his own stuff. So he's got like nothing here. This is on X, it's like nothing, right? So let's continue here. Ryan here, I censor his name, says, it's a wonder that Japan colonized Korea, not the other way around. The stereotypes about Asians being conflict averse is less prominent with us. He probably wouldn't have got a lighter version of the Johnny Somali treatment. So Johnny responds to that and says, I get erect when I think of what the Japanese people did to your filthy sex slave prostitutes. So he literally doubles down, calling Koreans this nasty language, right? This is during an active criminal trial. Do you know how dumb this is? This is so idiotic. During a trial, this is happening during the trial. This is just happening like last week. Once again, he is pending criminal charges. Let's continue. And now this is something that is just racist in general, right? But he's talking about Father Austin Metcalf and all this other stuff. And his response down here is hang that monkey emoji. So once again, using racist language. And let's continue here. Here's another one. Disgusting scenes from Seoul last night as Unigen supporters marched through a Chinese neighborhood, hurling racist abuse and terrorizing restaurant workers. They shouted slurs like C word and go back to China at staff that are simply working. So this guy is talking about, this reporter is talking about anti-Chinese sentiment in Korea. And what does Johnny say? And mind you, this is Johnny who's been simping for the CCP with Hank. This is Johnny who has been saying he loves China with Hank, and he uses an anti-Chinese slur. They are all C word, right? And I'm not going to say it. You guys know what it is, but this is the language that he is using. And mind you, when he goes to prison, ladies and gentlemen, he will be in there with mostly Chinese people in the foreigner prison. How do you think they're going to feel about him using the C word to describe them? Do you think they're going to be happy about that? The triad members or whoever else is in there, in Korean prison with him, what majority is Chinese. I don't think they're going to be happy with that. Yeah, the word is not comrades, right? The word is not comrades. Okay. Let's see. Oh, we got one more here. Let's get one more here. So Johnny is complaining here about Streckbruder. This is this guy. I covered him a little bit. He's a nuisance streamer who is currently in Japan. He's in Japan, mind you. He is in Japan, not Korea. Japan, different country, a country which Johnny is banned from, right? And so Johnny responds when he says no charges. He says, "Oh yeah, he didn't touch the prostitute statute. I pray for the day when Kim Jong-un glasses this shithole country." He's in Japan. So Japan he's not even talking about the right one. He says he's in LA right now. Yeah, sure. He's gone home, I think, at this point. But the point is when this was posted, because Meme Copium, what's up, Josh? He posted this last week. So at the time this was posted, he was in Japan. So at the time posting, this is obviously April 17th. You see the date right here. So at that date, he was in Japan. So this is ridiculous. And once again, it has nothing to do at all with Johnny's case or helping him out. And certainly he's just digging himself in by saying more nasty, really abusive things regarding the Korean people, and just tripling down on his statements regarding, the country and the statue and everything else, and showing that he has no remorse for any of that. Okay, let me get to some of these comments, and then we're going to continue because we have 43. I'm not going to get through all of them, but we'll try some of them. And then we're going to get into more criminal activity by him. We've got criminal activity with children. We've got spreading STDs. We've got a lot of stuff tonight. Jeez. Okay, so let me organize this a little bit. Hold on. Okay, think we can get this. All right. Manachan says, let's give it to RKI. His mouth can't stop. No, it can't. RKI sims for the CCP, which stands for cabbages. Yeah, it's the Cabbage Communist Party. Yes. Rayobi says, I remember one RKI fanboy argument was Asia is wrong for suppressing speech because RKI was charged for harassing girls in South Korea, then says, where's my human rights for him? Like, my dude, what? Rayobi, your first mistake is trying to use logic with these people. They just want to argue, and they're going to say anything for any reason. They're not intelligent people. They're the lowest common denominator that is very likely to be Darwin awarded out of this existence. David for 10 says, what do you think the chances he'll be sentenced to imprisonment? High, very high. I am in the camp of 95% that he gets jail time of some way, shape, or form, right? You can never be 100% because once again, it's Korea. They can decide to do whatever they want to do. The judge can have some sort of feeling, right? Just like in the United States, even with cases where I've been very sure of the outcome, sometimes the judge just goes another way. You have to leave a little percentage for that if you're being honest. But I have high confidence that he's going to get some time behind bars. I mean, you would think they're at least going to give similar to what they have in Japan. But mind you, this trial will now likely drag out till 2026. So we're looking at a situation where he may be in Korea with Korea as his prison for over a year. So he's essentially been sentenced via the process for a year in Korea, over a year, about a year and a couple months it'll probably be. And then he'll get, if he gets a year, that's 2 years effectively. 1 year that he's been locked in Korea, and another year where he's stuck there in prison, right? And in a certain way, you know, when you're in prison, stuff is actually paid for. E. Lopez says, I'd love to see your channel grow. Thank you. We're doing great, guys. If you want to like the channel, follow. I hope I've earned your subscription. We are on a rocket path to 250K. We blew past 200. We're at 240 almost. And I think we're at 250. Well, hopefully we get to 300. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the coverage. And, you know, I always try to improve and do a little bit better for you guys and think about how I can do things more professional. I know that you guys have liked the PowerPoints, so the PPs are here to stay. Peter Burke, speaking of PPs, for 10, thank you for that. Thank you. Peter Burke says RKI is lower than a rotten cabbage. Couldn't agree more. Cat Weasel Gaming says CCP is cabbage crop pickers. I like that acronym. I like that. Ram Recruit says listening while at my first full-time job. Hey, congratulations. Making amazing money. That's so good. Thank you. And I'm happy for you. Amazing what hard and good work earns. Crazy, right? It's crazy because he doesn't know how to do anything else. And it's sad. But like Eric says here, Gin Blades, bro is 845% cooked. I did the math. Let's see here. Brandon Johnson says life ruination is evil, so don't do it. I will not. Fat Factor said he's stuck in the spin cycle of stupidity. David Miller says gently caress the like button or smash it. MRMC says, are RKI's reproductive organs fair game? Sure. Kwang Lee for 5 says, do you think there are people donate to rage bait RKI to get them in more trouble? What is your opinion on it? They do that. Everybody is free to do whatever you want with your money. You can take your money and waste it if you want. Some people take money and they spend it to troll him. People use my coping and seething song and they troll him with it. You can do whatever you want to do. Now, I personally would never do that. I would never financially support it myself, and I wouldn't encourage anybody I know to do that, but I don't tell people what to do. I wouldn't do it, right? Personally. Alex Gifford says, hey, Mr. Mindset, what type of law do you specialize in when you practice your profession? I mainly do corporate law. So when I do private law, I'll do corporate stuff. So related to corporate formation, stuff like that. I did real estate for years in Florida. And now I also will help with immigration law. So those are the 3 things, both, past, present, future, that I work on over here in Asia. It's lovely. And I love it. And also, being a full-time YouTuber doesn't hurt either. Supermarket says going to make some boiled cabbage water and call an RKI here. Cat Game says, wait, media now notices. Finally can't wait. On global news, this is a big deal for our wet cabbages. Yeah, and I guarantee you this will hit bigger news, especially when sentencing comes down. Ryobi says, in other words, don't be like the one doctor in Stan for Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp, where the doctor was tweaking out and seething. Oh, no, that's bad. That's bad. Czar says this was used by Drama Alert as well and considered not ban evasion when Keemstar did it. Not sure if it's changed. I'm not sure that still applies. I think it is ban evasion. But you can always tag Team YouTube and ask them to check it out. King says for 249 says, with all these IR streamers, you think it's the year of the IRL streamers. It does seem like that, right? Bad News Badger says everyone has a plan until they get pimp slapped in the face. Korea is that slap for RKI, Johnny Somali, both metaphorically and literally. Now, this is something silly. Now, Stephen, I think you've sent a couple other comments that are kind of trolly. Just deport him as an American. He should come home. Stephen, I think, now, once again, you're allowed to make a comment. You're absolutely wrong about this. And I think you made a comment about deporting Vitaly. No, you cannot prosecute people criminally outside of that country. America cannot prosecute him for Korean crimes. That's how sovereign jurisdiction works. He has to remain in Korea. He has to face justice under the Korean system. No, sorry. If you want to face the American justice system, do your crimes in America. And you know what? He should also have his passport revoked and never be able to travel again because he's an embarrassment to America. And not only that, but he's an international criminal. And I can say that because he has committed crimes now in both Japan and Korea. And by the way, he's already officially a criminal in Korea. He has pled guilty to several crimes already, not all of them, but some. So he is officially a criminal in Korea and a criminal in Japan. So multinational criminal. He's been in multiple countries, committed crimes. That is more than enough basis for the State Department to revoke his passport. There doesn't need to be any more discussion here. And it's a pattern of behavior. M for 10, thank you so much. Margie said the PP was fire. Oh, it's not done yet. We got more. I have a very large PP today. Thank you. Thank you for that. Especially love the cabbage part. We got more. We got more. Muzzy for 10. Thank you so much, Muzzy, one of my OGs and a great supporter of the channel. Let's see. Let's get one more and then we're going to go. Zed, Sin Archbishop of Defiance says, what's your opinion on the SAG after Monopoly versus Genshin Hoyoverse? That is so off topic. I haven't had a chance to think about that. I've been focused on this. Sorry. Cat Game, I'll get one more so I didn't answer that one well. 50,000 Indonesian rupiah says, let go of the wet cabbage finish. And also don't forget to thank Atozi. They made it viral too. Can't wait to see them in Global News. Yeah, Atozi's a great mentor. He's a great guy. He's helped me out a lot. And he's done some great coverage. So no, I give a lot of props to him. Straight up. He is a great creator. I have a lot of respect for him. I'm super glad we met, and I look forward to collaborating with him in the future. Also, I'll get this one. And he made for 5 says, think there'll be a cabbage feast once he goes to prison. There's going to be some sort of feast when he's in prison, but Ramsay might be the one on the menu. Also, Marzi Malfoy gifted for 10 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Let's get into some other stuff he's done here, okay? So we'll go to, what do we want to do first? Let's do the HIV. Okay, let's do HIV. This is good. This is very interesting. So Johnny Somali is threatening Korean women with infection with STDs, specifically with HIV and AIDS. This is something that people might think of as a joke. This is not a joke. And in fact, when in history, and I'm going to get into this, we'll show you some case law. Oh, there's case law about this, but there are cases that where people have been prosecuted, specifically in the United States. In fact, repeatedly, people have been prosecuted for threatened potential threats to infect others with diseases. And that is something that is not okay. In fact, there was a parole for a doctor. I believe it might have been a doctor who injected his mistress with HIV and hepatitis. She contracted those. He went to jail. She actually, I believe, eventually died of HIV/AIDS. So he went to jail. He was denied parole. So that is very serious. Also, serious is as gifting 10 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Also, shout out to my friend Elfpire Ava for 2 says, great stream. Callie Barr just admitted using AI. That's crazy. So let's watch this thing. This is video of Ramsay Cletus Smile on April 22nd talking about this. Let's just play the tape.
Korea does not let me out of Korea. I'm telling you right now, it is a danger to the Korean women. I have had so much sex with Korean women while I've been locked here.
First of all, let me say this real quick. I do not believe this at all. Number one, he doesn't have any money, although he does admit to using prostitution, and I do believe he did engage in prostitution in Southeast Asia and other places. But in Korea, he definitely doesn't have any money. Number one, and number two, no, ain't nobody interested in Ramsay Khalid Ismail. So I'm calling a lie on that one. But let's continue to hear his threat, because once again, he is threatening Korea if they don't let him go.
I don't wear any condom when I fuck these Korean women. I don't get any STD tests when I fuck these Korean women. I don't get any STD tests when I fuck these Korean women.
By the way, I am not, I know what you're thinking, chat. I am not counting Hank, okay? So Hank does not count. I know, I see you in the chat talking about Hank. Hank does not count. In Korea, that doesn't count. That doesn't count. Maybe in other countries it might, but not in Korea. Let's continue.
And I make sure to spread whatever I have to all of these Korean women. And the police can't stop me. The government can't stop me. These Korean ladies is fiending for black dick. Every single week they keep me in Korea. I'm going to keep coming in Korean women. I'm a handsome, sexy nigga. I'm nice. I'm good looking.
I haven't had pussy since fucking, September, nigga.
Okay, do you guys want to know what happened when I went to the red light district with Hank? I'll tell y'all the story. The other day we went to the red light district, and the reason I didn't stream it is because every single hooker we met in the red light district was like, no black, no black, no black. I was getting mad, chat.
These Korean ladies is fiending for black dick.
No black, no black, no black.
So obviously, and that's a cut by Johnny Somali over there on X. He's talking about that stuff, and then he's talking about injecting people intentionally with HIV and AIDS, and he specifically actually makes a threat against me. Right. So let's listen to this one. I posted this one on my X so people can look at this one here. This is a very specific threat against me, of all people here. So let's listen up to this one.
Legal mindset. I don't need to fight that nigga. I'll walk past the nigga, inject the nigga with some HIV blood with a fucking needle, nigga. Legal mindset.
See, that's a very specific threat against a very specific person. That's actually against me. So that is what you would call, and that's a threat, and that's what you call a pinprick attack, which is, you can Google it. There's actually Wikipedia pages about it. There's stuff like that about it. That is very much criminal to threaten, to talk about. And in many countries, there's actually specific statutes that relate to that legally, right? That specifically relate to that. So that actually gives me some interesting law to talk about. That's the rest of the PowerPoint here. So in countries like the United States and Western Europe, there are laws. Now, in many places, there was a specific statute, the specific law that says that threatening people with AIDS or passing AIDS is illegal. Now, back in the day, these laws were controversial because many people thought that they would be used against people that lived other alternative lifestyles, like, for example, homosexuals. So in the past, they thought that these laws would be used widely to essentially ban homosexuality, which largely, by and large, with isolated cases and individual, exceptions aside, by and large, generally that did not happen. But those laws are still on the books, laws that criminalize specifically the intentional transmission of HIV and AIDS. But beyond that, you can actually use existing laws. So laws like intimidation. So saying I'm going to do this because you cover me, or I'm going to do this if you don't release me. That is intimidation. That's also an attempted crime. It can be assault. And if you actually do it, it can be attempted murder or murder. So if you killed somebody, they died of AIDS, that would actually be murder. And in Korea, there are some specific crimes. I want to give a quick shout out to Dr. Ulrich and also to the other folks that helped me out in Korea on this, because they helped me out with these specific articles. I think Dr. Ulrich gave me a lot of these, so big shout out to him. But I confirmed these and asked around and looked them all up, so they all check out. But in Korea, if you actually went over and threatened people with HIV, you could be guilty of any of these things: injury, attempted injury, serious injury, special threat, attempted crime, murder. Also, Korea has a special statute, a special law called the Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome, that's AIDS, Prevention Act. Article 19, prohibition on conduct risking transmission. What does that carry? I know you all want to know, and that is 10 years in jail. So 10 years under that statute for any conduct that would involve that. So that would be stacking on top of his already full stack of issues, 10 years in potential years in prison. That's a maximum penalty there, right? So a lot of solid time there as well. And once again, this is all stuff Johnny tried to delete because Johnny knew when he played that is a direct threat. That is a direct threat, not just the Korean people. He threatened me specifically. And by the way, tomorrow we'll probably have a little bit more footage, maybe some more stuff that's edited out. Once again, have to clean up the degen chat and censor some stuff. But this is very, very insane, right? And once again, he still has a criminal case pending. Isn't this nuts? Where the hell else does this happen? M gifted another 10 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you, Jay, for £9.99. Thank you so much. Mark Hampton for 10 says shenanigans, more than shenanigans. Isn't this grounds to confine him? It could be, but once again, that's not anybody's call. It's not my call or anybody else. It could be. They could confine him for this. They could. Danielle Novotny says, this poor deluded man-child. Don't worry, RKI. You're not going to leave Korea, not for a long, long time. Yep. Randy said, I want to point out that if Somali doesn't have real ID, he can't fly domestically without a passport. So he might be stuck where they drop him off until he gets deported. That'd be interesting. Ray Obi said, careful, Legal Mindset. He will jump and fall flat on the pavement, then cower in fear and cope like he did with Yu Dagun, the French guy, and the man with the man bun. I am not, like, physically, RKI is a joke. He's a shrimp. If he, like I've said before, he threatened me with mace, he threatened to blind me, he threatened to, do all sorts of other stuff. Now he's threatening me with HIV needles, right? I mean, first of all, like, it doesn't take, like, a child could karate chop Ramsay Khalid Ismail. But the point of the matter is, is it a credible threat? It could be. It has the potential. In the United States, that threat would be more than enough to file a restraining order. That'd be very clear if I wanted to do that. That'd be very, very simple. But yeah, we'll see what comes of that. I want to leave a little mystery to the consequences for RKI. But once again, he's only digging himself deeper. He is digging this deeper and deeper and deeper with this sort of behavior. Mr. Trellis from North Twillingate for 5 Canadian says, the more likely he will get paused in prison. I don't think he had sex with enough people to have caught HIV. Who would want to F that guy? Apparently some people. I mean, I don't know. Ask Hank. Jonathan Pude as a new member. Deck Na Pala, thank you for the $1.99. Joseph, also thank you for the 2. Nanny said, are you pressing charges? Once again, let's leave some mystery here. Pilot Girl for 2 says, no woman want to have sex with RK. Looks like a kid. Have you seen the body shape? Rihanna said, are you going to report it? Like I said, we're going to get some mystery here, but there will be filings. There will be filings. Golly, this is Michael Rua. Inquisition for 31s for 10 says, does RKI still count as a criminal in Israel? Yes. He is banned from Israel for 5 years minimum, probably permanently. Also, if he managed to flee, could Korea, even Israel, extradite him from the U.S. to face justice? They could if he tried to flee. Yes, they could. He's not going to try to flee. Now, he does say something stupid. Let me play this real quick, because a lot of you talk about this and it really pisses me off almost as much as insanity plea, which, by the way, thank you guys for hitting the goal for tonight. We've got more than 10 chats, so Somali cannot delete his videos immediately. But I want to play for you Johnny talking about escaping to international waters. Let's play this little clip here. This is hilarious. Once again, this is all new stuff. All of this tonight is new stuff.
going to Incheon.
Well, let me.
Incheon.
Hold on.
And then the next stream, Incheon.
So Incheon, so you guys know, is the port that is west of Seoul. It's largely considered as part of the Seoul metropolitan area, but Incheon to Seoul will take you to, an hour or two to get there, even at the fastest speed. It's the place where General MacArthur and the Korean War landed. They did their famous landing in Incheon, which was a big W and kind of cut off a lot of the North Korean army and led to the press in the north, which was followed by the Chinese attack and then pressed back to the parallel and kind of the stalemate. But Incheon is also where the airport is as well. But there is a big port in Incheon. Some of the biggest tidal movements happen in Incheon and in that bay. So it is one of the biggest areas where the tide goes up and down by a massive amount. So much so that like ships can ground themselves if they don't know where they're properly navigating during low tide. It is a huge shift. So he's talking about going to Incheon, and let's hear what he has to say.
I'm going to Incheon. I'm renting a boat or an inflatable raft. And I'm going to stream sailing to international waters. As soon as I hit international water, these niggas can't touch me.
That is not going to happen. Number one, he will not get anywhere near international waters. He wouldn't even make it close to international waters because of the outlying islands. He would go so far, and the closest he could get to international waters would be trying to go to North Korea, in which case North Korea, I would love for him to try that because they will shoot down and destroy any boat. They shoot down Chinese fishing vessels. They would 100% shoot him down. But in an inflatable raft or a small boat, he wouldn't even make it out of the bay, right? He wouldn't even make it out of the bay. It would be RIP Ramsay real quick if they'd even try to rent it to him, right? So, I mean, once again, I would love to see him try. It would not work. This will not work. But, let's see him try. Norbert Froelich says, I don't want to flog a dead horse about a certain plea, but no one can convince me RKI still has all his marbles. He does. He's doing this for clout and attention, for sure. Ryobi said, and don't forget he stuck his tongue out at you and Atozi and got straightened out by the bailiff and shat himself when the judge told him his charges. Exactly. He's been nothing but scared the entire time. Minsk Watcher for 10 Belarusian, right? Says Coast Guard just exists. Yeah, he acts as if the Coast Guard isn't monitoring the situation. It's insane. Tillin Lewis in Ike Kun for 5 is that Peruvian? Says that guy thinks that he's living in GTA San Andreas, and he is not. Edie Sizhan says, I hope he gets to international waters and the sharks ignore him. Where's he going to go? North Korea or China? I don't think that would work out well. And once again, it is hundreds of miles. You cannot get there in an inflatable raft. He would die. Asian Dragon says, I wanted Johnny Somali to continue to dig more. But one thing is to stop saying the N-word, because if I cannot say it, why can't he say it? Well, I'm not using that word, but he used it a lot. Jonathan Puide for 100 Swedish krona says, I don't even want to think of any woman who would want RKI salami, even if they got trillions of won for it. Yeah, it's a scary sight. Uncle Brad says, I love these developments. We're not even done yet. Guys, we've got the most disgusting, sick stuff coming up right now. You thought that was bad, and that's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. We've got more. So hang in there. I'm going to get about 10, 15 chats, and then we're going to move on here. Ulrich says, look, Mom, the lawyer man is on Korean TV. Yeah, it's cool. Asian Dragon says, a couple months ago, you showed us first-party victim versus third-party victim. How can we get a third party to show YouTube they're doing ban evasion? The YouTube thing is different because the YouTube stuff is all YouTube terms of service. It all is, reporting stuff and, just sending it in. His channel is out there. I personally submitted some reports on it, and I know some other people did. So, we can only let YouTube do their YouTube thing. Letters and Numbers says Korea plays the long game. Yeah. Fan Factor for 5 says it's much like watching Stut Joe, Kevin Brennan, or Chad Zumock make their weird empty threats. These are literally Dabbleverse locals. Johnny is beyond a locale though, because he's actually facing like serious criminal stuff, like actively, imminently. Hagfish says, like my analogy before legal mindset, Philippines focus on the main quest to imprison. South Korea went for side quests first in the main quest. They are completionists with this. Yes. Alex says, I can understand the concept of make him pay for himself, but can't we put an ankle monitor in him that beeps when he goes outside? We all know his ankle monitor is his stream. Everybody knows. And the thing is, you don't want the police to be waiting there outside his door every day. You don't want to pay policemen to do that. They have better things to do. Let them come when there's a crime and let them report it and send it to prosecutors. That's how it should be. Bronwyn says 50 minutes of shame and mist have done a great job keeping the saga alive. Yeah, there's been a lot of channels keeping it alive. A lot. Tozi's been doing a great job. A lot of other channels, Nux. So shout out to everybody who's been creating on this. Mom and Trill. Al Eagle says the kid's got a bigger mouth than a brain. He's going to need that big mouth. We know. Intel Husky says, why does RKI upload these videos and delete them? Does he feel he has nothing to lose? No, he did illegal things. So during the stream, number one, he used pornography. Number two, he used many racial slurs. Number three, he was redirecting to his Power Chat and PayPal. And the Power Chat and particularly the Power Chat, the text-to-speech, was being used to say racial slurs and other things, which are banned words on YouTube. So many of the things that were being played were very illegal. So he does that because he knows if YouTube picks up on them, he will get his channel nuked again. But effer 3,000 for 5 says, I knew kids like Johnny back in middle school, attention craved, and will do anything for a little attention, whether good or bad, no matter the punishment. Exactly. He is the online streaming variant because those kids always existed, but now they have cameras and now they make money from it. And that's the problem with nuisance streamers. That's the entire problem. Octera says the AI generated trading card of his Twitter is actually part of crypto ploy. Don't worry, the money's going to another scumbag. That's funny. Anahime says, should there be an anniversary of his suffering or too much to give him attention? I don't know. Maybe we should do that. I should look back and do like a Ramsay-versary when we get to later in 2025. We'll have to do 1 year of Johnny because we're going to get there, guys. Brianna says, I know Korea is being poor and being poor is his punishment, but he should be sentenced so he's no longer access to the public. This is crazy. I understand that feeling, but he largely is trapped with Hank inside. Largely. Is it true Jordan Joestar asked for 50 pesos that he gets a vasectomy? I haven't heard about that. Brennan says, King Ramsay, suffer the slab or suffer my curse. John says, I'm standing in line for the archaic cabbage kimchi soup. It's delicious. Can't wait. Cabbage, cabbage, cabbage. Michael Rule said, just got back off work and didn't Strike Bruder get a little taste of FAFO? Yes. Strike Bruder, the guy with the big speaker. While what he does is not always illegal, he did piss off the Japanese to the point where they poured water on his speaker. That did happen. Yazura Ultima for 9.99 said, hey, legal. After his claim of spreading HIV through a needle prick, you think that'll earn him lifetime in Korea? No, not lifetime. It could get him extra time. Yes. Also, as a Korean Japanese, thank you for what you do. Hey, my pleasure. I look forward to being in Japan. I'm debating when I go to Japan. I don't want to give away my travel plans, but probably in May or June, I will be in Japan again, which I sorely miss. And obviously in May or June, I'll be in Korea at a time unknown that I'm keeping a little bit mysterious. Denardo for 4.99 says, do you see Meowko's video on IG about Japan's changes for tourism? This included tourists paying taxes. Yes. So Japan wants to change the law, and I support this, to require anyone streaming for money to get a work visa or some sort of visa that allows for work. By the way, the digital nomad visa allows for that, and I have helped many people get that. If you were interested and you live in Japan, or you're visiting Japan, and you're a streamer, and you want to legally go there. Same with Korea. If you want to legally create content, there are very easy paths to do that. You can contact me. My main email, andrewesquirelive@gmail.com or goeastgentleman@gmail.com, and I can help you with that. It is so easy to get a visa that allows you to do that. It's so easy. There's no excuse not to do it. The only reason why they're not doing it many times is because they don't want to submit to a criminal background check. That's why they're doing it. Because many of these people are criminals. And I am in support of people having to go through the process. I just had to renew my visa here and do all my paperwork. I'm doing it right now, actually, in Thailand. I spent a lot of money doing things a legal way, a lot of things doing them the clean way. You have to do it that way. You have to. And I don't have any sympathy for people who say they want to stream without giving back to the society. You should be contributing back to the society and the culture that you are profiting from. You are making content about that country. You should be giving back to them, not taking from them and destroying their country, which is what nuisance streamers do. So I have no sympathy for those folks there. Geodax says, just dealt with the registrar. Wonder what has happened now. Wonder what madness you will cover after RKI Law ASMR VTuber stream. Did you win? When things calm down, but I am working on stuff. Don't worry. Walking Corpse gifted 10 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you. And Citizen X with 50 Legal Mindset memberships.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
Thank you. Also, Angel Chase with 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you, and shout out over there in the Philippines. We're going to tie things together with the Philippines here in just 1 minute. So let me see. Potentially criminal. What's up, Sean? Good to see you, brother. Great coverage on Nikki Rackets as well. Says international waters isn't free. They can chase him down. Exactly. He's not going to escape justice in international waters. The Korean Coast Guard will get this guy in 2 minutes, right? They're going to notice there's a guy on a dinghy who's going out too far, like a lifeguard seeing a stupid child, go out beyond the barrier, or beyond the cone, or beyond the buoy, or whatever. They're going to go rope him back in, like they always do, taking a dummy back home and, throw him back in. And they might even be able to add a charge for attempted evasion, right? Attempting to get around his travel ban. So that could be another thing too. Mr. Holland says the international water stream I'd watch. Does he have Starlink? What an idiot. That's hilarious. Yeah, he would lose connection real quick out there. Raby says, N word you're looking for is negligible. As in Johnny's insanity plea is negligible. He won't leave Korea. His bunghole unclogged of cream. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, hold on. I gotta get.
Oh hell no. Oh hell no.
Oh, that Hank comment. Salami is the type of criminal who shoots his own food and goes to jail every time he gets out. Visante VIP. Thank you. Okay, one more and we're going to go. Jay says, how long do travel bans normally last, or is it up to the government? Is up to the government. It is actually coming from Johnny's own lawyer. It is up to the prosecutors and the court how long he's there. And do you think they have any reason to lift that travel ban? No, they do not. Until all of this crime has been fully investigated, he is not going anywhere. Merkward Ghost is a new member. Thank you. Chronicling Mayhem says taxes on any tour. No. It's more about nuisance streamers specifically. But anyways, my BFF and I have been planning to go, saving money. Peru doesn't need a visa, apparently. I don't know about Peru, but many countries don't need a visa. For Japan, you just have to fill out an online arrival information or information when you get there. But it's very easy to visit Japan, and I recommend you do it. Seriously, do it. Jonathan Holmes says, almost went to last court date. When is the next one? May 16th in the same courtroom, Western Court District, same courtroom 406. Western Courthouse in Seoul, room 406, May 16th. That's the next date. If it is not moved. And once again, it may be moved. David also says, do you think there'll be many would-be nuisance streamers? They're going to think twice before streaming out Southeast Asia. In the Philippines, yes. Because of Vitaly in the Philippines, yes. And we're going to get into Vitaly right now, literally right now, and how that links with Ramsay. Also, Uncle Brat said, I would love to rent RKI a boat. That would be funny, wouldn't it? It would be kind of funny. All right, I will get all 37 of these super chats later, but let's get into Vitaly and him. So this is a disturbing link. So Johnny spent much of last night talking to underage girls on the spiritual successor of Chat Roulette or Omegle. I forget, I think it's like Omu TV or something else like that. So he spent a disturbing amount of time talking to underage women. And we're going to play some of that today. And mind you, as I play this footage, he is under investigation for child sexual harassment. So this is a man who is currently under investigation, criminal investigation for child sexual harassment. And he is deciding to spend time talking with children online. Let's play this. And this, unfortunately, it relates to someone who's in the Philippines. Let's play this.
The bitches and it makes them scared.
Yo. Wait, there's a kid.
So even Hank, let's hear it real quick. Hank, and listen, Hank is not the brightest crayon in the box. But when Hank says right away, that's a child, you should be concerned. You should be concerned. Let's play this out.
The bitches and it makes them scared.
Yo. Wait, that's a kid.
Hello. Where are you from? Philippines?
Philippines, but that's a kid.
Hey, free
So talking to someone in the Philippines.
my nigga Vitali.
Free.
Hey, free my nigga Vitali.
So already, well, there's your link with Free Vitali and Somali. A lot of people like to break these things up, but they're hand in hand there.
Free Vitali.
Hey, free my nigga Vitali.
Free Vitali.
Free Vitali.
Free Vitali, my nigga.
Nigga, let Vitali out the cell, bitch ass niggas.
Yeah.
I can understand.
I thought you niggas speak English in fucking Philippines.
They do. U.S. colony.
Hey, free Vitali, nigga. Nigga, next. Nigga, let's go next, nigga. These niggas only speak fucking English.
Yo.
The bitches and
So once again, there's your Free Vitali link there. I've seen a lot of internet stupidity about the Nuisance streamer situation, but Johnny clearly thinks it becomes him and it behooves him to defend Vitali and to try to get in that camp. But instead, when he spends his whole night, and I'm not joking, Googling age of consent. As he's talking to these younger women. Let's pull this up here. He was actually caught on camera, which is one of the reasons why he deleted this stream. So let's show it right here. Him talking to children and Googling age of consent.
Bank TV's video is most.
So here he got caught. So he was changing tabs. He was looking up. This is what he was looking up on his own. Age of consent UK. So he's looking this up in the UK. This is what he was Googling in the background. He got caught. And see how quickly he clicks off of it. Watch this.
Accurate.
Okay, then let's watch the instant replay.
See, he clicks off of it real quick.
Give me 2 seconds. Let's watch the instant replay.
Yeah.
I don't know why
He's probably drunk or something here.
our thing says age of consent UK. Viewers, please ignore that.
Yeah. See, he's telling them to ignore that because he's pulling it up and he's spending time researching these things as he's talking to these very, very, very young women. And here's another video of him here talking to someone on. Actually, I've got a better video. Let me pull one up here. This is actually a video that we got edited just before the show. So this is one that is like hot off the presses that we edited and censored. So I want to play this one because I know it's clean and better to show than perhaps the other one I would show. But once again, this is a person who's under criminal investigation. So think about this type of behavior and what it shows of his character and what it shows the prosecutors in Korea about whether or not he still represents a danger. Let's show this here. Boom, here you go.
Yo, what country we doing? Chat, what country we doing? What country we doing? What country, Hank? What you have to do is remember, see this image with that picture with that eye right there? Yeah. When we confirm it's not a dick, we click that. But until we
By the way, I agree with you guys here. The repeated targeting minors is sick. I agree. Michael Ruiz says, I want to say so many things that are not allowed. I agree. Do they have anything like a sex offender registry? They do. Also, Nick Cotty says, is Hank ride or die with him, or is he going to drop like a bag of cabbages when it gets really bad? We'll see. I think for now they're stuck together, but we'll see once the table starts turning here.
Yo, what's up?
Wait, let's start talking. Hello, what's up, lady? How are you?
From?
Where are we from? Where are you from?
China.
중국 원수해.
You see the flag we got right there? We have China flag right there. You see that?
Yeah.
Oh,
We're Americans, but yeah. We love China.
can you?
Okay, first of all, fact check. First of all, yeah, that is a child. That's why they're censored right now. Also, Hank is not an American. Let's just be very clear. He will never be an American, and he is not an American. He wants to be an American very badly, but he is not.
Can you speak Chinese?
He can't. Speak there. Let me put the guy back. You speak Chinese, little bitch.
中国万岁! 操日本! 操韩国! 操美国! 我们的队伍像太阳，脚踏着祖国的大地。
Sorry.
What you apologizing for? It's your new wife. Hey, he's trying to move to China. You can go to China with him.
Mind you, these are all like this is super cringe, and this goes on for a while, but this is similar to what actually Slightly Homeless and I believe somebody else, I don't know if it was Suspendus or whoever else, they were actually arrested in Nepal for propositioning underage girl for marriage, right? This is stuff that in many places would be criminal, right? Going and like propositioning children for marriage.
Yo, what's good, nigga? Where you from? Latvia? Never been there.
Hey, show your camera. Show your face.
Yeah, show her face.
No.
Fuck you, bitch ass nigga. Oh, wait.
Hank scaring the hoes. That's what I'm saying. Hank, you start screaming political shit on the bitches and it makes them scared.
Yo. Wait, that's a kid.
Hello. Where you from? Philippines?
But that's a kid.
Hey, free my nigga Vitaly.
He knows, right? And this is the Free the Vitaly one, right? We'll skip around here. I'm gonna skip around a bit.
What the fuck was that?
Oh shit, they're a kid.
Nigga, I don't give a fuck.
Once again,
Colombia.
let me play that back because he says the line here.
Nigga, what's up? Hey, don't skip us.
Hey. Are you a girl or a lady boy?
I don't think they have that in Kazakhstan. He made the bitch skip, nigga, scaring her. Colombia! Yo. Hey, why you make that face? What the fuck was that face? What the fuck was that?
Oh shit, they're a kid.
Nigga, I don't give a fuck.
See, there you go. So he says it pretty clearly there. Like these are kids, and then Johnny, what does he say? He doesn't care, right? He doesn't care. It's repeated, and this goes on for a bit. Like this goes on for a bit. I'm not going to play all of this, but this is just some of the most cringe stuff I've seen. That they spent an extreme amount of time on.
Hey, don't do that.
Wait, hold on. What happened there? Hold on. What happened there?
Damn.
I lived in South America a long time.
Where are you from?
I'm from America. He's from America.
Yeah, I'm from Texas.
He's not American.
Texas, Arizona. I'm planning to move to China though. Yeah.
I like Mexican pussy.
Wait, what?
Mexico, they got the big booty, the big bunda, culo grande.
He is not Texan.
No.
Can we go to Korea, bro? Please, let's do Korea.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's make the niggas mad.
Wait.
We're gonna do Korea. We're gonna do Korea. We're
Stay
gonna
with
do
them
Korea.
until
They don't even speaking back to us.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're doing some wild shit there. It's super cringe. I'm not going to play all of it. It's 10 minutes of cringe, right? And there is some like this screen cap though. I will say like this like unhinged screen cap here is pretty good of Johnny, right? This is pretty good. Like if you want, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and just take that for a thumbnail right now while I'm at it. Let's do a little live thumbnail in here. Let's do some. Okay, hold on. Let me remove this, and because it's not going to let me do that while that's up. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and take that because that's a great thumbnail. That is a fantastic thumbnail. You can't create thumbnails better than that. Let's see. Okay, I got to stop sharing this, I guess. Okay, hold on. All right, won't let me snip it live, but that is definitely going to be my new. Like, there's going to be a thumbnail out of this for sure. We got to get Hank in there too. Perfect. Look at this. Here, I'll show you guys. This is going to be a thumbnail at some point. You're going to see it coming. Share this over here on the screen. Isn't this a good one? That's great. That's a great thumbnail. That's going to be coming. Okay. So listen, this behavior, when it's coupled with the charges that are very serious, when it's coupled with deepfakes, when it's coupled with child sexual harassment, when it's coupled with obstruction of business that is for, horrible, degenerate, nasty behavior around children, it is absolutely something serious that can be used against him and submitted as evidence against him. And certainly it will be. These last bits that I showed you there, and that's not even everything, just me showing you a selection of it, because frankly, I can't watch 10 minutes of that. I can't sit through 10 minutes straight of him, creeping on minors. it is not going to look good for them when it comes before the Korean court. Not at all. Let me read some of these super chats. Go fast now. As a new member, welcome. Luxury on says, my dinner's going to leave my body from watching that. Yeah. King Luigi says, I'm uncomfy with your bye vibes. That's all Johnny, man. Rodrigo says, please, legal mindset, the cringe is too strong. I'm feeling my soul leave my body. Also, does this guy want to be in jail forever? He's working on it. And the thing is, I feel you too. It's uncomfortable for me to watch that. Like the folks helping me with edits, they thought that 10 minutes was good, but I can't stand 10 minutes of that. Like personally, I can't. We can't watch that for 10 minutes. I can't. But we've got all evidence. We can submit it. We can put it up somewhere. We can put it as evidence for, other people. We can allow it to be posted, but I can't watch that 10 minutes straight on the live. I just can't. Super Korean says, my pit loves chomos. They taste good. Hank is trying to steal my life story like the lame that he is, because I'm from Texas and I live in Arizona, but also grew up in Korea. But you aren't banned from the U.S. for being a felon. And Hank has never been an American, and he never will be an American. He wants to be an American really badly. He is not. Deadly Kitten says, law ASMR, whisper more law to my ears. Going away to prison for 50 years. Yes. Ryobi says, another dumb question, is your service help Canadians? Yes, Canadians, Europeans, anybody. If you're coming into Korea, Japan, Asia, just give me a talk. Shoot me over a message. Jane Whittake says, we'll be in Japan at the beginning of May. Can I legally stream highlights to my friends via YouTube if I'm not monetized? I promise I'll be nice. Probably okay. Yeah, if it's not monetized. I think the big issue is making money. But once again, you can always double check right before you come. Ed Sishan especially love giving back to Thais. They're great. Yeah, they're great people. I love the Thai community. Thai people are great. Dude, Songkran was so awesome. The water festival, the New Year's was amazing here. I had such a good time. I love living here. It is amazing. Eric Heine for 10 says, what are the bribery laws in Korea? I would like to send a nice bottle of wine to the judge and prosecutor when it's all over saying, thanks, good job. I don't want me or them to be in trouble. I'll check on that. It might be okay, but also I don't know whether they'd want to take an international package with mystery drink in it. Ryobi said Ramsay wants to be the next Chris Chan, and Hank is his Sonichu. You also the pearl necklace that Hank made for him. No wonder. Yeah, they've been doing some weird stuff for sure. M said RKI harassing folks, children the same age as his streaming audience, children. That's true. Michael Ruiz says, what do you mean it goes on for a while? Effing disgusting. It goes on. That was, so ladies and gentlemen, there was 10 minutes straight of that. And that's the clipped version with a lot of stuff edited out. So that's the clipped version of that. I can't even watch. We didn't even get to 5 minutes of that. Big Buddhist for 5 says, cringe level over 9,000. Yeah. Razorwire says there's a special place in hell for people like this who target and victimize minors. I agree. David says, wild how they're digging themselves so deep that I left for a 45-minute meeting and ended up saw what you're streaming. That's how these streams turn out. I tend to save the worst stuff for later on, and that is probably the worst. No Name says, keep digging your grave, Somali. Mashup Mike says, honestly, I think him always being drunk is a factor, but you control. Here's my thing about drinking, guys. And I say this knowing people that are alcoholics. I've dealt with a lot of alcoholics. You do have a choice whether you pick up the glass or not. And if you know you're an alcoholic and you know you have a problem with it, you need to either not drink at all, or you need to cut yourself off hard when you know your limit is, and to the point you're able to control your limit. If that's one drink, then maybe that's just one drink. Maybe like you can have one glass of wine or 2 beers, and then you got to cut it off. You have responsibility for that, and you have agency for that. And there's a point where you have to say, I can't do that. And by the way, that's from a legal standpoint. If you're drinking and driving and you get in a crash and you kill somebody, you can't say, I blame it on the alcohol. You have to take responsibility for that action. That's just the way it is. Ryobi says when RKI is in the foreign prison picking the fields, he's going to pick like char siu, Chinese barbecue pork, which I love, or barbecue roast pork on a spit. But effort says the only conviction I sense from anything that Johnny has said is he's willing to do anything for money. I don't believe that he's racist. He'll say whatever, but I do believe he is racist. But he will say whatever about whatever that is true. But I do believe he has some deeply held racist beliefs. Dr. Slothington for 5 says Johnny as cabbages is what we need to restore the order in the timeline. Genghis Khan for 5 Canadian says the Chinese triads make the Mexican cartels look like Boy Scouts in comparison. Ramsay won't be in for a good time, especially not a long time. Ryobi said, dumb question. Doesn't the U.S. passport state you can and shall be subject to local laws? Yes. And the passport is not right to enter a country. A passport is a right to leave your own country. Think about that for a second. Bonkity Bonk for 5 says, I just arrived. What did he do this time? Why can't he stop? Because he needs the clout and attention, and because it's part of the Somali cycle, as I like to call it. That's that cycle of attention that he goes through, that he is so mad at us, at our coverage and our chat, because we are breaking and disrupting that Somali cycle that he has gotten away with. And the reason why, and I know a lot of people get annoyed, they say, why are we still covering this? Is because if we don't keep covering it, he gets away with it. And the last thing I want at this point is for him to get away with it, because what happened in Japan when there wasn't enough coverage was he acts out, rage ensues, there was no coverage, and the heat dies down, he gets away. That's what happened in Japan. That's what happened in Israel. That happens in a lot of places. Now, with the Cabbages equipped with our coverage and others like Atozi, 15 Minutes Missed, all the Mom and Trill, everybody covering this, Nux, all of us together covering this allows it to go viral. I saw Asman reacting to it the other day, right? It puts pressure on Somali, which puts pressure on the criminal system, and that increasingly hurts him and leads him towards closer and closer to jail and closer to consequences. So we need more coverage, not less. So I will continue to cover things, especially stuff like today. Guys, I could have made 3 streams out of this, but I decided to make 1. This could have been 3 streams, but it's 1. Now I will have some extra video that'll come out in the future. We'll probably have some more, but I put all the main stuff here to get through that. Luke says, beware, power chat equals no privacy. RKI gets your info. Be very careful about that, guys. Deck says, Bass TV said V being extracted from Russian government. Wait, what? Brennan says, easy way to get Johnny banned is mass report him. Once again, there's certain things you can't do, and encouraging people to mass report is something that you can't do. So I'm not doing that. But like I said, if I personally see something, I do it, right? That's just me. Repton says, could you play the clip again of RKI getting haymakered? I missed it. Oh, I'm sorry. You need to see that again?
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
You're welcome. Warren says, if Ramsay somehow becomes monetized, can South Korea charge him criminally, or is that immigration? It's mostly immigration, but the judge could take some action on that. It is possible. It's possible. Bob says, for 20 Aussie, says, I know Hank's family were prominent, but surely any social political clout his granddad may have had would have run out with draft dodging. If BTS had done their service, even though they contributed so much, Hank should too. Hank there's no clout that's going to come to save Ramsay because of Hank. Let me put it that way. Stellar Raiders for Manwan, 10,000 won, says, I am Korean. I just want to express my gratitude to Lawyer Legal Mindset. You're welcome. I'm happy to help. I really genuinely am. I love Korea. I lived there full time for 3.5 years. I still visit very often. I consider it my second home. I love the Korean people. I love the country. It's so amazing. It has amazing history. And if anything, I do it because without Korea, I would not be an expat, which was always my dream. So without Korea, I wouldn't have made it. So I have a kind of permanent gratitude towards Korea for that, what it did for my life and what it did for me as an expat. Thank you for the flowers to the statue and keeping a love for humanity. Sorry for the bad English. No, everything's perfect English there. Thank you so much. Kamsahamnida. Mr. Holland for 5 says he could possibly have seizures in jail if he doesn't have access to alcohol. That's his problem. How is that different from any other alcoholic or any other substance abuser? We do not have a right to provide someone with their addictions. So that's on them. Cat of War for £5 says, I'm concerned the Googling of age of consent was after something that happened on live chat with a kid, and then Hank trying to check if it's legal. Yes, that's what it could have been. Yes. Horror Junkie says, will Ramsay's actions affect U.S. travelers? I want to enjoy the culture and food. I don't want to act like that dude. No, you're going to be fine. If you're an American and you're respectful, you'll be fine. Over the Songkran holiday here in Thailand, we had thousands of people coming here, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions. I haven't counted, but there were no incidents, right? There were no incidents with travelers. In Japan and Korea, most travelers are fine. It is only because of the nuisance streamers and because of the pure volume that statistically, if you have 1 million tourists, a handful of them are going to act really dumb. And Ramsay and the nuisance streamers, are that handful of idiots. DCV Titan says for 5, Ramsay, I think RK is telling the truth. Just that woman is the Hank in a wig. Capital Trade says today's social media streamers are the new sad clowns because they perform outrageous and harmful content for fleeting online attention. Yes. Asian Dragon says using an STD as a biological weapon on women in Hong Kong and SP in Hong Kong Sovereign City can get you sentenced for life without parole. It's a very serious thing. In fact, I talked about this when we talk about the crimes. In America, there have been people convicted of murder for threatening someone with HIV or AIDS, which is what he did to me, which is what he did to Korean women. Absolutely. And by the way, it's intimidation for sure. Devil's Advocate says the Somali cycle sounds like the cycle of shit. True. Razorwire says alcohol is no excuse. It doesn't cause you to do the things. It only lowers your inhibitions. Skinny Bruce Lee says, what is the curse jar used for when I get really bad? And I've been trying to be good today. I've actually been pretty good, other than reading Somali's words. Mercenary says, my drinking limit is 0, always. Smart man. Zed says, theory, what if Salami was a disposable CIA agent whose goal was social penetration testing to see how far is too far for subsequent USAID black? Hold on. I don't have enough tinfoil for that. Okay. I don't. M says, we're Americans. I can't. Just stop. They're not, though. I mean, Somali is, but Hank is not. Do you notice that around the world, chomos and PDFs get a light sentence or punishment? That sounds international by world runners. I have no idea. Once again, that's probably a little too out there. I will say they don't get a light treatment in jail. If people find out that you are a child offender in jail, it does not go well for you anywhere in the world. That is a fact. Ryoji Mata for 5 says RKI's camera keeps getting worse. Oh, and people need to remember that China and North Korea are allies, and North Korea still destroys fishing boats. Exactly. Razilla says, great stream to paint minis to. Hey, thank you. And there will be clips of the stream, so do not worry. Solon says, excuse me, Cabbages, but how does this help with your Lotte World case? Are you trying to rack up the maximum amount of prison time like the Korean version of Charlie Bronson? I think he really is. I think he really is working on making this worse for himself. Ruchi said for 5, hey, a small feedback. When you want to censor words, I'd rather have an audio cut than a loud beep. It's distracting. Okay. Thank you for that. I will tell my clipper Eagle, which Eagle emojis in the chat. He is very hardworking. He did a great job last month. Just amazing job. I will tell him to do an audio cut, a silent instead of a beep. So I will remove the beep. Thank you for that. Luxrion says, I don't think RKI can even watch Mr. Tall Mindset enough to back up the words he's been trying to puff up. He can't fight me. There's not. He even said it. He can't fight me. I would break him in 2 seconds. Like, it's not even funny. Plus, I've been hitting the gym a lot lately, so I've been trying to cut weight and I've been doing a pretty damn good job about it. I'll put some money in the swear bar for the damn, but I will say I've been trying to lose a little weight and get a little more fit. And I definitely know, even when I was unfit, I could break him, but now I'm getting back up. He wouldn't stand a chance. Jurian Wynn says RKI is really digging the deepest hole for his grave after all. Yeah. M says, forgive me if you mentioned this in previous streams, but where's RKI's family? He's such a young dude. They have effectively disowned him, but once again, I don't want to go beyond that. All I can say is, look, they're not enabling him. So there's no point to me talking about that. And I will not be involved with anything with going after or attacking people at all. Right. So that is something I will not do. I am not gonna get involved in that or support that or condone that at all whatsoever. So leave people's family kind of out of it. Razorwire says Q sale by AWOL Nation. Silbury says for 5, the fact that RKI thinks he'll be safer in international waters is a real joke. He doesn't even know what international waters are. LX3, thank you for the 199. Fat Factor said, can we have a goose hank instead of a goose honk instead of a swear bleep? Let's go with silence. Brendan says, Johnny won't last long in prison. Prisoners everywhere don't like cheesters, and normally will make them become ghost. Yeah, I think the child stuff and going into jail, that doesn't work out well anywhere, like I said. Ryobi said, I wonder if the jug charge from October will be in the nail in the coffin. After all, he was arrested for marijuana. I don't think he's getting charged with drugs. So one thing I will say that's probably gone is the drug charge. If they were going to hit him with the drug charge, they would have already done it. Now, they might get him for current use. If they catch him when he's doing something and he's clearly on something other than alcohol, he could be in trouble for that. So it is possible some new charge could come from that, but I don't think he's going to get for the pot charge or drug charge from previously. I don't think so. Marshall said, need a chill K-pop group to do coping and seething. I think it's pretty good so far. Amanda Main says, Hank is the HO and not even a smart one. Is the ho and not even a smart one. Yeah. Pilot Girl says, Hanky Poo was in Gregg County Jail pre-trial. Oh, I didn't know that. MJ today says, Hank digging for cabbages in that picture. Let's pull it up again for everybody in the chat. Let's just pull up Hanky Poo here. Once again, premium content from Hank as we get to watch him mining for brown gold. Razor Wire says, put the charges in the bag, Ramsay. Kid Loco says, in my country, win democracia in the last votes. Oh, cool. Thukong 1994 says, why is he not in jail? Lock him away. They do not put people in jail before you are sentenced in Korea. You are not detained, unlike in the Philippines where Vitaly is detained. Because of this, and let me make this statement, and I'll remove Hank's ass from the screen. Korea has allowed the case against Ramsay Khalid Ismail to get stronger. If they had just kept him in jail, it would be a weaker case. That is a fact. We now have a stronger case against him because he was running around acting like an idiot and saying all these things. Korea's strategy has worked, even though it looks like it doesn't work. Even though you might think that it's not working, it's doing exactly what they want it to do. I know that people want him to be behind bars already. I get it. Their process is slow intentionally, and they're letting them hang himself. He has been, like Jack said, self-incriminated, right? That's what they want, and it's working. It is working. Like, look, when we cover this stuff, it's coming out in Korean media. The prosecutors bring new charges. We're seeing, guys, we have had 4 new charges merged into his criminal case. You know how much that happens in a normal case? 0. This is something that is so rare. It's unprecedented to see 1 new charge merged in. We have 4. This is great for putting him behind bars and adding up to the case. Because if he had just had that 1 charge, ladies and gentlemen, he might have gotten that slap on the wrist and left. If he just had the 1 charge, he might have been gone in January or February. But that wasn't the case. It's only because they stack charges. Johnny Somali says, dupa dupa. Germ says, in theory, could Johnny be assigned to the border? No, they don't do that. It's not like he's going to be assigned military duty, like he's going to be conscripted. This isn't like Soviet Russia or like a penal legion, right? And like Warhammer 40K or like, back in Austrian painter days when they would send people to the front from like allied nations that weren't really friendly. They'd send them to the bad side. Michael Rua says Ramsay can't help himself. No, he's addicted to the clout and attention. LX3 says, Lol sent the blank one by accident. Jesus loves you. Oh, thank you. And God bless you too. Mercenary says, I think Salami and Hank are CIA assets. Believable. Once again, I'm not doing tinfoil Salami stream stuff, but you can believe whatever you want to believe. And that's fine. BFer 3000 for 5 says, if I remember correctly, in the military, if you knowingly transmit HIV without informing your partner, you can receive the death sentence. I don't know about that, but it is a crime, a serious one in many countries, and it's still on the books. And in Korea, there is a specific law that makes that illegal, a very specific law. Michael Rua says he pays for it after all. That's true. And Robert von Beek gifted 10 Legal Mindset memberships. Also, my Clipper, Eagle Gallon, Alicia's biggest simp, gifted 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Hey, guys, if you received a membership, whether it's from a very generous donor like Tank Rat or smaller donor like Eagle, please say thank you for that. Really appreciate everybody who's donated today. It's been awesome. Today we have, let's check over here, over 5, almost, wait, hold on. Are we 6 members short of 500? We are almost at 500 members, which is more than Johnny gets views on his social media posts. Ray Obi says, last dumb question. I know Thailand has legal marijuana. Yes, but is it illegal to bring marijuana from foreign countries in the country? Here's the problem: importation. So you'd have to deal with customs and duties, and I doubt you're paying customs and duties. And also, you need to deal with the countries you're transiting to get here. So, for example, if you're flying from Canada to Thailand and you're bringing marijuana, like where are you going to connect through Japan? Yeah, you're going to be in trouble for that. Also, you're dealing with interstate commerce. There's a lot of things. Don't do that. Right? That's very silly. If you want to consume marijuana, which is your own choice as an adult, you can choose to do that or not. Just buy it in that country that's grown locally and sourced locally. That's the safest way. That's the best way. And you avoid any legal altercations. So I would not recommend flying internationally, even between two countries where it's legalized. And by the way, in countries like the United States, it is not legalized at a federal level. So you take a risk when you interact with the federal government, such as in aviation, and you're traveling with anything that is controlled at a federal level, even if it is not controlled at the state. So please be safe. Please, once again, I always advocate being above the law. Just because you can get away with something doesn't mean you should do it. And this very much applies to Asia as well. You want to be above board. You don't want to just do the bare minimum to not get in trouble. That's where you want to be. You want to be above. You want to say, I'm clearly doing everything right, right? Guys, this support is unreal. What is happening right now? What is happening right now?
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?
Thank you so much. We're going to have Big Ramsay coping and seething, Citizen X with 10, Marcy Malfoy with 10, Neko Girl with 10, Robert Von Beek with 10, JP Ravenfire with 1, Doug Diaz with 5. Guys, we just rocketed to 550. 550 legal mindset memberships today. You know there's going to be some massive.
You are coping the seething. You just can't believe what you're seeing.
Some big cope from the Ramsay side there today. I can absolutely guarantee that 100%. Hold on. Did I do the thing? Okay. Cat of War says, the at Vitali detained and still making it worse. And there's a lot of people trying to get Vitali out. We're going to cover some of the Vitali defenders on a separate stream. That probably will be, some of the next Vitali stuff I'll do. I'm staying on top of all Nuisance streamers. I am dedicated to getting Nuisance streamers out of Asia and also across the world. Now, some people have asked me to cover annoying pranksters that are criminals in the US. I'm not as interested in that, but if there becomes a big case, I will cover that. But particularly if they're in Asia, I'm definitely dedicated to getting people out of there. Very much so. Tank Rat with another 50 legal mindset memberships. Eagle with 5. Lapine as a new member. King Bob as a member. Unhinged Valkyrie with 5. Holy smokes. Tank Rat, I think, has done 200 today. Thank you so much for that. That is, oh man. Warranty Void with 50. On top of the Tank Rat 50. Oh, crazy stuff today. Holy.
Emotional cabbage.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate that. All of you. I do love you, even though you're...
And they're still fucking nerds.
I love all of you nerds out there. I really do. I appreciate all you. Thank you so much. Ray, you'll be dropping another 10. Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Tank Rat says 600 gifts. Thank you so much, guys. 600 is better. 600 is way better than 550. Holy smokes. Sitting next says, can we get 600 memberships for the industry? Come on. Thank you, guys. This is amazing. Once again, when Ramsay does stuff like, a lot of people, they don't understand, like, there's a lot of pressure to this, and I do appreciate the support, but I also want to say I can't do it without my team. You guys know Dr. Ulrich who came on, who's one of my translators. I also have a lot of people on the Somali conviction team, my good friend Gabe, others that are more behind the scenes. It takes a lot of people to get this information out. I want to thank everybody who sends me articles. I want to thank you all for linking me. I want to thank you all for helping me know whenever he's streaming. I get immediate updates of everything that's doing. I have eyes inside of a lot of places, right? And it's only with all that information that I can do this comprehensive coverage and really track the saga of Ramsay Khalid Ismail from beginning to end. So thank you to everybody that's helped me along the way with this coverage. Thank you. Jonathan Puide for 10 legal mindset memberships. We triggered a membership tsunami. We've also triggered, from what I'm hearing, because I'm getting some messages here. Apparently the Somali Discord is in complete discord, if you know what I mean, and just melting down over the coverage and over what they thought was exposed. Because They thought they're so smart with deleting the videos quickly. No. And what Johnny is trying to do is he's trying to get to a certain amount of subscribers and watch hours in order to get monetized on YouTube. But that's not going to happen. He's going to get shut down. He's going to get hit because of all the violations he's making. So, all these attempts for Johnny to make money are pathetic, and they're not going to work. They're not going to work. The only people that are going to make money are people that are tracking his downfall. And he needs to know that. Bob for 10 Aus says, in gaming terms, South Korea's strategies use poison to drain his stamina. Yeah. Finances by 1,000 cuts with legal fees and him hurting himself in confusion. I like the Pokemon reference there. New offenses. I like the Pokemon references. I'm a fan. Alan, Red Rabbit DeBella says, thank you, Neko Girl, for the gift. Dear Legal Mindset, you've been amazing. I love watching your videos. This has been an entertaining as depth for sir. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Also, thank you to all of the fans that came up to me in the past 2 weeks. I was in Phuket at a resort, and I had somebody come up to me, and they're like, are you a YouTuber? And I'm like, oh, no. And they're like, are you Legal Mindset? And mind you, like, I'm at the pool. I'm not in a suit. I'm wearing sunglasses, and I'm like, oh, it's so weird. But they're like, thank you so much for your coverage. Appreciate what you do. I'm a subscriber. It's so nice to meet people and know that people are thankful for this coverage. It really does matter a lot to me. I want to be covering stuff that is helpful, and I want to cover stuff that people want to listen to, and I want to educate and entertain. That's what I try to do every single stream. Poppy for 2. Thank you so much. T says, what do you think of influencers in Italy who were arrested for what? That's crazy. I'll have to look that up. That is super crazy. I've not heard of that, so I will need to look that up. Kerbal says, you need to do a camping stream now. Look, I would go on a camping, I'll have to talk to like my friend Josh. Maybe we can do one in Japan, but I don't want to do IRL streaming because I don't want to do like doxing my location and opening myself up to IRL streamers annoying me. I'm happy to record something and then like play it later. But I don't want to do I never want to do IRL streaming. Alex says, Jesus loves us more than Somali hates his freedom. Facts. Sobri says, I archive certain live streams as they're streaming live. RKI Discord melting down over this hilarious. Guys, here's how you do it. Open something called OBS. There's something called OBS. You can also do it with a lot of software. When Somali starts to stream, open OBS, put up the window, record it. Even if he takes it down, you've got the recording then. So you open up your video recording software, you record it live. Don't wait for it to finish. You don't want to use the YouTube downloaders. Those are not good because you're going to have to wait for it to finish. And oftentimes he immediately deletes the VOD. So just record it while it's live. That's what everyone does. It's very easy to do. And you get the full thing. You just turn on the audio and you can leave it and forget it and get some great clips. If you're a content creator out there, stay on top of his channel. That's what you guys got to do. Get the footage. I don't care if I'm the first to get it or somebody else gets it, but we all need to get this footage because it needs to be documented for legal purposes. Robert Bergen. Thank you. Welcome as a new member. Twilight Dragon gifted 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you. Just Jeroming around for €5 says the thing with Ramsay is he is going for infamy persona, which people will pay IP to tell a story. No, they won't, because you will not need to get his permission to cover him as criminal saga. This is a thing of public interest, which you can add easy commentary to. So you don't need his consent or to make money off of this or profit off of this or make a movie about this. You could make a full movie about Ramsay and he wouldn't get a dime. Rayobi says, legally minded is the number of memberships rivaling Dokibird or Niji or the Michi Mochivi when the whole Hollow Advent went. Yeah, this is great. I love it. When I'm competing with VTubers, I'm doing well. 678 memberships today. Hold on. 679. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to be probably back tomorrow. I have to leave my apartment at some point later tomorrow or the day after so they can help repair earthquake damage. But I will be still streaming. I will take some days off. It's been a crazy month, but I'm going to try to finish strong and have some streams for you this week. Thank you so much for being here, guys. As always, I love you, appreciate you, and have a wonderful rest of your morning, evening, or night. While we know Hank and Ramsay are alone in a very, very tight room in Seoul, and we know what.
You are coping the ceiling. You just can't believe what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping the ceiling. truth, it is all day. And now you want more